Hello, everyone. Welcome to another This Week in Hating Dice. This time we're going to be looking at October 7th to 14th, see what I've been doing this week, and going through all my little games that I've played and other hobby-related stuff that I've been up to. So, videos obviously sponsored by SentryBox. Thanks, God, for, giving me a job so that I can keep doing this stuff, and it's awesome. Mail order from orders at SentryBox, good fun. Lots of stock. No online store, so terrible way of actually doing it, but hey ho. I decided I'd actually tell people about it because I think it's good. Okay, so I played games this week, but unfortunately I'm terrible and lost every game I played. I've been on a bit of a losing streak. I managed to have another game of Infinity with Tim. We played that Saturday after work, and I didn't change my list up for Infinity because I forgot my models last time, so I used those stand-ins. So I wanted to play with my fully painted army because I'd spent all that time doing it. Didn't want to drop models without them touching the table, and it had the exact same weaknesses it did in my last game. Who knew? It's the same list. Of course, it works the same way. I definitely played a few errors. I overextended myself, and Tim punished me really well. I'm going to keep chipping away. I think we're going to try and get another game of Infinity in this week. I'm not exactly sure what day yet, but we'll try and sort it out. But yeah, I've been enjoying painting the steel phalanx with the contrast paints, and that's what's really pushed this project forwards and why I've been playing the army. So I've been enjoying that. We've got some stuff in the works where I'm going to be trying to do some different articles on contrast paints and different ways you can use them. I've got one or two more test models I want to do, and after that I'm pretty confident I can start work on this project, and it should be pretty good actually. I'm quite excited about it, to be honest. So stay tuned for that. What else? I made my new batch of lists for X-Wing, which if you listen to Lack of Focus, which comes out tomorrow, if you watch this today, so if you listen to episode 36, Lack of Focus, I go through all the lists because we talk about X-Wing Wave 5 and what we want to do and what we're planning on running. So that's going to be a good way to go into depth on them. But I made basically 8 different lists, 2 Republic ones. I've got one stupid one in there, which was just Anakin and Rick Olay, which is why I managed to get 8. But I basically bought some different plain old boxes. I've got stuff still on the table, which I'm kind of trying to keep clean, but I've been reorganizing all the X-Wing stuff. So I've been doing that, and I went with 2 lists. I let Patrick and Quay play because they're heading to Worlds this week for X-Wing. So I let them pick which squads they wanted to play against. Patrick wanted to see play against some bombs, so I ran a K-Wing list into him. That was the one that I felt like needed the most work, so I'm probably going to do a Should I Fly video on that and try and have the evolution of that come through. So that's another bit of content I'm going to work on this week. I need to kind of tweak that. That was Nora with a whole host of upgrades and Sabine on there, and then both are named K-Wings, so Asagi and Miranda, with proximity mines and seismic charges. But I felt like it was relatively difficult to keep the focus up on where I wanted the ships to be and get the damage where I wanted to be. The idea for 2 K-Wings with the barrage and the side arcs worked really well, and I got to do the damage. I think I killed a couple of his Inquisitors. He was running Jendon and 2 Inquisitors and a Grand Inquisitor. So a pretty resilient, rugged list. You need to really focus fire. And I think if I hadn't have lost Miranda if I hadn't have lost Nora so quickly, I might have been in the better chance. But I gave him a range 2 engagement against Nora, which did a big chunk of damage. So then her range 1 resilience came in, but it was too little too late. So I couldn't really get that one done. But Patrick said he learned a lot. And I'd briefed him beforehand that I'd not really played that kind of bombing list for a long, you're talking Wave 1, which was completely different. First edition. So it's bombs work completely differently then anyway. So it was good for me to get it on the table and start practicing with it, and it was good for him just to see how they would have worked. laziness did cost me the game because I could have proxy mined once. The Inquisitor was going to swoop around behind me. But I was like, oh, there's no way Patrick's going to do that because that's just a terrible move. If he K turns or Talon rolls Inquisitor, he's going to hit the proxy mine. So I chose to not drop it because I only had one with me and the other two were downstairs in the store, and I didn't want to go downstairs and get them. So if I'd have had them next to me, I'm like 90% sure I would have dropped it, and I didn't because of laziness. And then he K turned behind me. So that was funny. We had a good laugh about that because he was like, oh, crap, I forgot you had them. I couldn't believe it when you dropped the other one and not that one. So yeah, I only had one template with me. So that was frustrating. Well, it was funny, not really frustrating. The game went south well for other reasons than just that one. The next game I played was against Clay. He's also heading to Worlds. He was trying a resistance list, and I wanted to run a first order list that I've been looking at, which was Tavson, and then 4 of the Initiative 3 TIE SFs. So it was like really generic, no upgrades at all in the list, just 5 Initiative 3 pilots, lots of hit points and shields. And then I was trying to demonstrate to Clay that he needs to be more cognizant of the time in the game and like the game state at every round. But then I messed up and did a 3-hard instead of a 2-hard instead of a 3-hard, which meant that if he could get a shot if he dialed in the move, which he had. And if I'd have done the 3, there was no way he could have had a shot. So I should have done the 3, and I didn't because I was trying to be greedy. And yeah, that was a mistake. So he managed to he had an unmodified shot, 3 dice, and I had 3 health left. So obviously he did all 3 damage and killed me, which meant he won on time instead of me. So I was pretty annoyed at myself for that mistake. But yeah, there you go. That's 3 different games. I got a good shooing in all of them. So yeah, that was fun times. Luckily, winning's not everything. I actually enjoyed the games a lot. It was really good to play games against people practicing for Worlds because I felt like I could try and be a little bit more cognizant of the choices I was making and trying to play it properly. But it was really interesting. Like I said, 2 different games, very different feels to them. I liked both of the lists. I think the Miranda, Asagi, and Nora one needs the most work. So I'm probably going to try and sit down at some point today after Thanksgiving dinner in Canada. So we have Canadian Thanksgiving today. So happy Thanksgiving, everybody. But after that, I might sit down and try and play with that list a little bit. I've also been going through sleeving all my X-Wing cards and putting them in a different box. I had like an 800 count card box. I've had to go up to a 1600 count because they don't all fit anymore. So I'm going through, moving them all across. So that's been fun in the most unfun kind of way. And then the only other like kind of hobby related thing I've done this week, the parts arrived for me to repair the 3D printer. I just a couple of little bits. It's one I picked up for like practically nothing on one of the trading sites in Calgary, so it just needs constant love and affection. But just printing some terrain elements and things like that, which I've been working on. Yeah, that's it. That's me, guys. I hope you've all had a good week. Let me know what games you've all been playing, any project you're looking to start. The next big project after this is contrast painting thing that I'm working on at the moment. It's probably going to be Adeptus Titanicus. I've got some plans for how I want to do that. I'm going to do a night household, so that could be interesting. Everything else has been pretty laid back. And yeah, that's it, folks. I'll see you all on the next one. Like I said, make sure you leave some comments and let me know what you've been playing. If you enjoy the content, I'd love it if you could subscribe. I know the numbers have been dropping a little bit on that regard. And yeah, I really appreciate everyone who watches these videos. I know this channel is kind of on a bit of a lull at the moment. So everyone who's still here, I really appreciate all of your views and all of your time and your comments and the back and forth we try and have and the community we try and build. So make sure you jump into a Discord and we can chat in there. And I'll see you all on the next one.